difficulties, but I'm on. Hi Isha, thank you so much for joining us again today. Give me one sec. Weird. Okay. Sorry everyone. Just having a little bit of some awkward moments today, but it's okay. So how is everyone doing before we get started? As you can see, we have some interesting things going on here, but before I talk to you about that, I'm just going to get myself situated. So today we are going to be covering the #1 best double stamping hack that you have never tried, or I don't know if you've heard of this. I know it was kind of trending on social for a bit, but I think there's a lot of you who still don't know about this super awesome technique. So I want to show you guys today. Again, this is probably one of my favorite nail art designs. Yay! I'm so happy. Okay, look, seems like some of you kind of know what this is already about. Hey Brenda, thanks for joining us. So today I'm using a large array of plates, but again, you don't have to use the plates that I'm using. You can use whatever you have on hand. But before we get to into the demonstration, I figured I'd show you guys anyways, because I know everyone's always asking. So today I'm going to be using M1119, M052, M217, and BMXL 213, Kelly Marissa's coveted plate. And I don't know if you guys can figure out which design that I used, but it was this design, and I used it to create these 3 looks. Yeah, Melissa, Kelly Marissa's plate is awesome. So can you see the designs that I selected and how it all works together? So again, you don't have to do this technique with a specific plate or design. The trick is that we want to get these large solid etch spaces filled with some sort of pattern. So it could be anything, like if you wanted to use this pattern you could, or this pattern you could. However, I recommend, if you're gonna do this double stamping trick, try selecting patterns that are tighter, that have maybe less space in between them. So even something like this would work out if you wanted to cover your blob in this design. A design like this would look great. Hey Adriana, don't worry if you're late. I was a little late today too. I was having some technical difficulties, but it's all good. We're here together. So yeah, you can try, whatever patterns you want to use. I wouldn't recommend something like this if you're gonna do this double stamping trick, because it just has a little bit too much space. So again, fuller prints that are a bit more closer together, less space, you don't want too much negative space. So I wouldn't recommend something like that. Now let's dive right into it, because I'm sure you all are curious to see me do this. And this trick is one of my favorites because it takes all of like 2 seconds and it looks really cute after. So everyone, wish me luck and give me good stamping juju, because sometimes when I get on camera in front of all of you, all of a sudden, like, all my stamping juju just disappears, like it doesn't even exist. But that's just how it is sometimes, and you just got to keep on going. So the very first step we're going to do is select your really full pattern design. I'm selecting this star pattern because I just love it. And then you're going to want to take another colored polish, and I'm going to be using BAM White I have my double-ended stamper here, which is my all-time favorite, and my scraper card. So just go ahead and generously apply polish all over that design. Scrape, then pick up. There we go, just like that. Now you are going to go to this plate and select whatever polish you want. I think I'm gonna try and do a sparkly blob. Hey Harmony, thanks for joining us. I'm gonna turn the design in this direction because, voila, you see? So if this happens to you, you just go ahead and take your, oh, or not. Oh, of course. If the sticky parts don't transfer, or the excess stamp doesn't transfer, I recommend keeping something like this on hand. I'm using the leftover pieces of my sticky stamper station. Oh, whoops, sorry. So as you can see, I'm quickly removing the excess. Now, had I moved fast enough, I wouldn't have to do this. But because I moved too slow, since I was trying to explain, I now have to contend with manually removing all those details. Then you just go ahead and stamp. Ah! Guys, send me good stamping juju. It's a little bit rough there. And again, my stamp is a little too dry, so that was my fault. But had I been a lot quicker and wasn't trying to explain and be in frame, blah, 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 this would have been like a 2-second job. But check that out. Let me see if I can adjust the light so that way you guys can see it even better. Right, Aisha, when I saw this on social media, I was like, what the heck? Why have I not figured this out? Why did it take me years to see someone else do it randomly and then me try this on my own? Like, I don't know why it just didn't click, but it's brilliant and it's so easy. So I think like Nail Art by Tall, I think that's her name. She does a lot of manicures that kind of look like this, and this is how you do it like instantly. It's so simple. Most people, when they think of double stamping, they kind of think of two like solid colors. So for example, you'd stamp like a white design and then you'd kind of like overlap it a little bit and you'd stamp like a black design over. But this is like a different type of double stamping where we get the pattern inside like a solid etch design. So this is only going to work, this type of technique works best for solid etch designs like this. I wouldn't try it for something like this because the space that the polish is going in, these tiny lines, that's not going to be wide enough or big enough to get like pattern on it, if that makes sense. So again, this is only going to work for larger solid etched like individual pieces like this, or you know, this. You could even do it with the star, but it's going to be really tiny, so you'd probably need something like just little dots or a very simple pattern. Another plate that would be great to do this technique with is one of the Shape Nouveau plates that just has all the basic shapes. Like, it's so cool. So let's try this design again, and I'm going to continue to be using my star design because, again, I just love stars and galaxy related things. So today isn't going to be focusing on like all the different types of double stamping because there are different ways to double stamp. There's layering. Those are all different types of techniques. Today we're just going to be focusing on this simple nail hack because seriously, it's probably my favorite nail hack ever. We just picked up our star design again, and then now we're gonna do a gorgeous French. I think I'm going to use maybe this design. I'm turning the plate in this vertical direction so that way when I scrape, I don't accidentally dig into the polish. Yay! Okay, again, you see how I was just a bit too slow? So this causes problems for myself. But it's all good. If this happens to you and you move a little slow, you can just go back and clean it up. Isn't that such a cute French? Like a star-studded French. I just love it. And the very last one we'll be doing today is with our moon shape. So you can go ahead and, again, do whatever shape you want, any solid etch shape, but the only absolute requirement that you need is that it needs to be a solid shape in order for this technique to work, and it needs to be like a pretty dense full nail pattern. Just gonna make sure I clean off my stamp before we start. Get everything ready, because if you move fast enough, this will make your life so easy. If you end up talking too much like me, then, you know, things get a little bit harder. You see? That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Minimal cleanup. And that's because I moved a lot quicker. Oh, whoops. And there you go. A moon filled with stars. Isn't that cute? Here. Let me just move all of this out of the way. How many of you are going to try this technique? Give me hearts if you're going to try the technique. Yeah, I would love to know. I don't know if I've actually tried this technique even on myself yet. Oh yay, I see some hearts. Right, Carrie? I mean, why not? Like, why not just give it a go? Yeah, this is definitely, again, my #1 double stamping nail art hack that is just like mind blown. When I saw this, I was like, what? Any solid design, including French, you know, basic shapes, blob manicures, like, we can put pattern in that? What? I've always dreamed about doing something like that, but then it, like, you know, or like when we design plates, we would try to be like, okay, well, you know, how do we get the design in the shape? That means that we have to create a design specifically with all these little patterns in it, or we have to do like a layered design so that way people could like layer the stamp. But with this, you can layer whatever you want. I mean, you can, the possibilities are endless. Just really anything. So This is the reason why I was so shook and I needed to tell you guys, because the blobby shapes look so cute. And yes, Tiana, we do need more blobby shapes. That's gonna be on the list of projects that definitely needs to get worked on. Does it pick up color better like stamping yellow on black? I'm sorry, what are we referring to? Does what pick up color better? Sorry, I might have, let me take a look at your comments to see if I like missed it. When you stamp yellow on black, it fades. Oh, okay. So that is color theory. That's like a color theory issue. We'll talk about that a little later. In short, light colors over such dark colors, when it comes to polish and how much polish is being applied, it's tricky. You have to, like, when you're stamping, the layer of polish that gets applied to the actual nail is so thin that, yeah, it's complex. I'll save that one for another live. We don't have to get into that now. But did any of you have any other questions about this double stamping technique that I tried today? And if you missed it, it's okay, because you can actually rewind during lives. Yep, Melissa, great answer. That's like the easiest, quick, and hack, but again, we'll talk about the color thing later. Thank you so much for joining, Ivy. Oh, amazing. Thank you for the video. I can't wait to try it on my clients in a nail tech class. Yay, very exciting. Yes, stamping for nail techs is #1 best friend if you're trying to get your clients to try different things and you are on a time crunch and a busy schedule. Highly, highly recommend it. Oh, Carrie, I'm so happy that you enjoyed our live. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. Well, seems like you guys don't have too many questions for me. And again, this was just a really simple technique that I wanted to show you. And if you missed it or wasn't able to join for the full live, don't worry, it will be uploaded after. So yeah, make sure that if you try this technique, mention us, hashtag us. We love seeing your creations. And also, we love seeing what you do with these like little nail hacks that we're all sharing with each other. Okay, talk to you guys later. Bye.